one resound with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Hi, I just moved in next door, and I was wondering, could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Chasing down dreams, turning up my engine, the tension scream. The night is turning dark. Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Hello everyone! Today our team is going to share our observations and the results of the analysis of the Super Bowl commercials with you. Super Bowl commercials are commercials that aired on the television network during the broadcast of the Super Bowl. Before we start, let me tell you briefly about the Super Bowl itself, because I think some of you can be unfamiliar with this term. So, the Super Bowl is the annual championship game of the National Football League, which is played between mid-January and February. So, it's a culmination of regular season. This event is very important for all Americans. They say the Super Bowl Sunday, the day on which the Super Bowl is played, can be considered one of the national American holidays. In addition, the Super Bowl has frequently been the most watched American television broadcast of the year. So, due to the game's extremely high viewership, and by demographics, the US television broadcast of the Super Bowl features many high-profile TV commercials. Watching and discussing these commercials has become a significant aspect of the Super Bowl. So, as you might guess, these commercials are an integral part of this large-scale event. For our analysis, we've taken the Super Bowl commercials over the past 12 years, starting since 2008. We decided to watch this pretty large number of commercials, so we had an opportunity to identify all the patterns, features, and trends of these commercials as accurately as possible. Even though 12 years is a rather protracted period of time, the products shown in the commercials remain almost unchanged. So they include advertising of beer, soft drinks, snacks, cars, websites, gadgets, promos of new movies. We've also noticed that in the past few years, household products, some laundry detergents and clothing have started being advertised as well. At first glance, it seems there is nothing unusual and special in these commercials. There are ordinary goods that everyone uses in an everyday life, but the presentation of these goods really matters. According to the statistics, the viewership is actually divided on those who watch the game and on those who watch only the commercial, and there is nothing surprising in it. The Super Bowl commercials have become iconic and well known because of their cinematographic quality, unpredictability, surreal humor, use of special effects, and bright colors. The use of celebrity cameos has also been common in the Super Bowl commercials. Each commercial is more reminiscent of a trailer for a movie. Each has its own plot, its own characters, and even dilemmas and issues. All this is supported by the participation of some celebrities, our favorite actors, singers, hosts, etc., to whom we are immediately imbued with confidence and trust and want to buy what they advertise. Also, I would like mention music because I think it plays a significant role in advertising. So most commercials use songs that are known all over the country, songs that people know by heart and want to sing along to them. Often these are very dynamic and evocative songs or just instrumental music, which focuses on the guitar and drum solos, which make the commercials more rhythmic and attractive for the viewers. Often the creators of the advertising resort to displaying animals in their commercials, which cannot but touch or evoke a desire to purchase the offered product.
Apart from well-known songs, celebrities, or some kinds of special effects, Super Bowl commercials often use different precedent texts, which in this or that way reflect various phenomena of American culture, history, or just routine. Generally, precedent texts are introduced in advertising by giving names of familiar books or movies, by giving names of characters of this book, by renowned figures, titles of some, again, books and movies, or just by quotations. The precedent texts are important for people because they have a strong emotional connotation. It is always interesting to see something familiar on the screen, to analyze the usage of this or that concept in the context of some kind of commercial, or just to understand joke from the advertisement, which is based on some precedent text, precedent name, fact, or phenomena. For example, during our research on Super Bowl commercials, we've seen the precedent text with usage of several idioms, proverbs, especially sports idioms, of course, like to get a head start, to Odell something, or to go hard or go home. And also, we've noticed a number of animated film characters or movie characters, like Big Bad Wolf, Darth Vader, etc. And book characters like Dracula, Romeo and Juliet, and much more. And also names of many animated film characters and movie characters and book characters were just mentioned in those commercials, just to draw adults or children's attention to these commercials. However, it should be emphasized that each nation selects only the precedent texts that correspond its moral values, outlooks, worldviews. That's why in these commercials there was usage of mainly American-born characters. The media and the advertising companies always follow their potential customers' worldviews and preferences, and make use of it So precedent texts used in advertisement, especially in Super Bowl commercials, are primarily aimed at drawing audiences' attention to this or that product, which leads to the promotion of companies' products or services. And as the advertisements of Super Bowl commercials are extremely popular among almost all population of the USA, the promotion of products via this type of advertisements with precedent texts in it are highly productive and successful.
Nowadays, people receive the amount of information in a day that people in the past used to receive throughout a couple of years. We're constantly bombarded with various contents, and with everyone being so busy, it's extremely hard for advertisers to capture people's attention for 30 seconds. Each year, the Super Bowl commercials generate exceptionally high advertising revenues due to this event's ability to attract a very broad audience. Advertisers pay close attention to the demographics and psychographics of the viewers, looking for an opportunity to speak directly to their core and trying to influence them by clear, compelling, and emotionally stirring messages. Analyzing the Super Bowl commercials over the past 12 years, we've come to some conclusions concerning the structure of these ads. So let's start with the atmosphere. It's not a secret that the Super Bowl is an unforgettable event which gets people to experience the full range of emotions. The creators of the Super Bowl commercials try to use their own strategy, which is based on the people's emotional perception of this or that product. Their ads make you laugh or make you cry, and when they do that, they implicitly make all the viewers feel emotions about the brand, about the product. And these emotions create a memory, and then memories create buying the product. The second point is people. We've noticed that in the Super Bowl commercials, there is always a group of people. They might be a family, friends, or co-workers. As it is a sports event, the majority of advertisers create their commercials showing the elements of this or that sport. Moreover, the advertisers tend to work with real people rather than with some celebrities, because it's a great way of harnessing real, heartfelt emotion. Some commercials are used to show kids even to make their product even more persuasive. The third point is the plot. So the best campaigns of the Super Bowl usually focus on telling inspiring stories with the real emotions, where the product or brand is merely in the background. Whether it is done to give thanks to their customers or to highlight how the company is contributing to a larger issue, but this type of commercials instill the feel-good factor. We also want to mention the use of humor in the commercials. Humor works amazingly well to get people to recall ads. For example, we can all remember a time when we choose one product over another because you were suddenly reminded of their hilarious ad. And the overall beauty and uniqueness of the Super Bowl is that you have a captive audience who is there to have a good time and have fun.
As we have already mentioned, the majority of Super Bowl commercials show groups of people, like close friends, colleagues, or just families. According to the results of our research, we came up with a percentage of the main activities conducted by these groups of people. According to it, about 40% of all commercials show people who are having parties, social gatherings, or some other kinds of reunions. And it is interesting that more than a half of those parties and gatherings are not connected with the phenomenon of Super Bowl at all. Also, about 20% of the commercials show mealtime or just people eating some food. About 15% show people driving, buying, or just praising some cars. And even about 3% show some kinds of robberies. This percentage and the whole humorous atmosphere of the commercials of Super Bowl phenomenon brings us to the conclusion that the main aim of these advertisements is to draw as much attention to the products as possible. And the best way, and the easiest actually way to do it is through entertainment of the audience.
As it has already been said, for our analysis, we've taken the Super Bowl commercials over the past 12 years, starting with 2008. While I was analyzing the material, it seemed to me that advertisers at Super Bowl they think that there are moments when consumers want pure entertainment, and they try not to overwhelm people with some philosophical thoughts, but still, there are some. The first thing I've noticed is that many commercials have families in the plots. A family seems to be an important concept, and what is more interesting, families in these commercials they have certain members. So there should be a man, a woman, a kid, and almost in every commercial there is a dog. By the family theme, they transmit such messages as take care of nearest and dearest, of pets. It is important, and it makes you a kind of a right person. Think of your retirement beforehand, take care of homeless people and homeless animals, and also look for a compromise in your relationships. The second very popular theme is work. Through this theme, they say that being responsible is crucial, that you should follow your heart when choosing an occupation, that teamwork is important for the success, but at the same time you should show your uniqueness, your ambitions. And one more thing about work is that you can achieve everything through hard work. Among other messages that we found, there is material wealth, and they actually say that it's a value and it's what you really want. Also, there was a message about judging. They say that you shouldn't judge people quickly. First, you have to see how the wind is blowing. And one more important thing that we found is they transmitting the message that sharing is caring. As for the emotional response, first of all, it is laughter. I had a lot of fun watching these commercials. These people create crazy stuff, and in the beginning it might be hard to guess to which company this ad belongs to. At the same time, it must be said that these commercials are very well done, and it's a pleasure to watch them. Also, they often use animals for advertising, and it makes them especially cute and attractive for all people. I think it also might be worth mentioning that there are not even a shade of sadness in these ads, so they evolve only positive emotions.
Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Budweiser, 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 Budweiser.
We can conclude by saying a few words about particular American values that the Super Bowl commercials tend to reflect and convey. Associating products with certain values is a tactic practically as old as advertising itself. In every Super Bowl commercial, we can observe a pure image of a typical American. We can see his strength and his competitive personality, which help the person to achieve goals. The most vivid example of this can be a recent Budweiser's ad. Budweiser is a beer. So where they are taking a polarized country and basically saying, let's come together and be Americans. And this ad really makes you feel good about being American and about the product, because it shows the unity of the nation. In Coke's ad, It's Beautiful, which debuted during this year's Super Bowl, sweet timbre, sweet voice, singing America the Beautiful in several languages, as Americans from a variety of backgrounds share tender moments. So sisters eat popcorn at the movies, friends dance, family camps, two dads roller skate with their daughter. Coke has presented itself as a quintessentially American soft drink for a decade, but its multilingual celebration of American diversity outraged some conservatives who railed that patriotic songs should be sung only in English. Generally speaking, all the Super Bowl commercials, as well as some other values-based ads, may or may not sell products, but they do offer insight into how companies perceive their customers, and our reaction to them says a great deal about how we perceive ourselves.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, por tus olas de granos ámbar, yo piscina zakuti, soy Baba